we're just waiting for Nick to get back. And Nick's been here. Alright. So we just finished our second scene with Antares, and now we're going to switch back over to Maz. And so where we left off was Maz was upset with Lord Commander Corvus for not giving him adequate men and sufficient supplies to assault the fortress of the Umbral Star. Leaving Lord Commander's tent and stuff. Maz was promised more men, all the tools he needs, as well as Corvus's personal guards. As long as Maz is able to finally lead and a successful assault, and I think said kill the demon at the fortress of the Umbral Star. Even though the Umbral Star isn't actually a thing, but a force. But we'll see. This is it's Nick's turn. Since I did this first scene, we switch off between antagonist and protagonist for each scene. Since I'm the protagonist, I did the first scene. It is now Nick's turn as Arturus, the Umbral Star, to set this scene.
Okay. And so it was that under a starless sky on a night when the moon itself daren't rise, the Umbral Star tore the void itself asunder. From and to all corners echoed a symphony of screams, as a mass blacker than all pitch bled into the city, and every creature foul and known and unknown to man, and every magic and empyrean and fell, spread. In this morass of evil, Maz stood with Cassiopeia and his guard.
Alright. Damn.
Man, you are really good at this. You're making us all look bad.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I need to stop saying words, but whatever.
That was brilliant. Anyways, okay. That blindsided me in its awesomeness. Give me a second to compose myself. Is it just Cassiopeia and myself?
And the honor guard with you. Yes. Now, if you want to have anyone else, if you want to be joined by like some of the moons or something, I mean, go ahead.
No, this is fine. So Maz draws his starlit sword, and in the dark night, and with no other like light to guide him, I think the starlit sword is sort of like the Polaris. It's sort of like the guiding light in the darkness. You know, like Gandalf's staff. Like imagine in like a deep cave or whatever. It's like the only light. So I'm like, yeah, I'm like I'm charging. I'm leading the way, with the glowing sword, and I'm rallying the troops to be is Orion with me? Can Orion be with me?
Sure.
Sure. So Orion and Cassiopeia and Corvus's
personal
guard.
I came up with a good name for the guard too.
Oh, good. I'm actually gonna put we just throw Orion in the full moon group over here as well as so I'm like, onward men. The demon and I can sense the demon is close. And I further go down into the descent into wherever wherever the Umbral Star is.
So you're basically in the home city where you had kind of started out before. So as you kind of like run down the hills and head down to like the lower reaches of the city where everything's kind of spilling over, you notice that bodies are kind of mangled and caked in this black ooze that's spreading across the what's the word I'm looking for? The ground. That's the word I'm looking for. Which is kind of starting to spread and seep out, and you notice that as you kind of like step onto it, it clings to your shoes, and it seems to kind of just like spread and suffuse the entirety of them, and keeps kind of going up your armor, and then kind of stops at a point. And ahead of you, as you run down these corridors, you notice demons are kind of just killing things errantly, just stabbing people and decapitating them, and this darkness is still just kind of bleeding out of the sky.
Oh, well, I'm definitely going to rush to save as many people as I possibly can. So I'm like, quick, to the left, and I go rush to go save a family or whatever. and basically single-handedly slay like 8 demons.
Okay, but only if
Oh, okay. Wait.
you. What?
Wait. We shall see what comes of it.
Okay, but only if you let Cassiopeia lead the charge and put her in direct harm's way.
But only if she's successful and lives to see the day.
You asked too much.
Um,
Let me rephrase. It was not meant to be.
Which one's but it's not meant to be?
Uh,
I actually don't play with but it's not meant to be, so I don't know what that is.
it's just another conflict phrase.
Oh. So generally, I know that's part of the rules, but in this particular game, it's only if and you're asking too much.
All right.
Sorry.
Then you're asking too much.
Okay.
I feel it was more narratively fitting, but okay.
Yeah. Okay, no problem. So what? Remind me. So I offered she lives and is totally successful.
Yes.
Right. Then can I say that she lives but not successful, and I come in and save the day?
Define not successful.
Okay.
Like how unsuccessful.
Sure. But only if she's able to, okay. Okay, how about this then? She's able to slay the demons and save the family, but the ichor and stuff makes her unable to move. Like she gets stuck in the quagmire stuff. Is that sufficiently different?
Yes.
Well, that's the moons.
Oh, well, I think it is, but
Sam, you're muted.
I think that is definitely sufficient, and it is definitely different.
Okay. Do you want to build on it, or?
yeah, I am.
And so what
try to-
happens?
Okay.
That's the other thing too. Like, so when you're done a conflict, it's like all of those things happen in quick succession, and then it's done, right? And you keep playing, like, so you can like fast forward in time a little bit too.
All right. So stuck in the ichor with all of you kind of like guarded around trying to get her out.
The ichor's poison.
A particularly spry demon leaps from the roof directly on top of Orion, like heading down, lunging toward him. He's not there yet, and he's likely going to kill him because he has knives outstretched.
Yeah. Okay. This is still part of the bargaining thing, right? We're still conflicting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It jumps out. So basically, you're saying that the guy's going to be set up to kill Orion.
Yes.
All right.
Orion is very likely going to die.
Yeah. All right. Sure. So the guy jumps out. Basically gonna kill Orion, but only if I mean, I guess I don't know. I'm going. I guess
Sack something. Kill a pawn. Do it.
no. Yeah, but the problem is that like so right now, what's her name? Cassiopeia is not in danger as far as I know.
Not presently.
No, she's just immobilized. Okay, so the imp thing, whatever, comes and attacks Orion, but only if only I see it like spry and try to jump on Orion, I like throw my sword and like kill it and like pin it to like some ruin or something like that.
Okay, but but only if you on top of that. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like we're still going.
All right.
Are the moons allowed to offer suggestions?
Only if we appeal to you.
Okay.
So either mistaken or heart can
Right.
can appeal.
Okay. Okay, but only if it's the only weapon you have. If that sword that you're throwing is the only weapon you have.
Sure. And so it was, I guess, and that's how it happened. So
Okay.
I go and retrieve my sword. And
All right, let me. I had different plans for that. Let me back up.
yo, you want to rephrase?
Yeah. I'm still trying to get my head around this.
Like you
Okay.
could say my sword. Just like actually, no, I
You
can't.
lose the starlit sword. Yeah. I'm sorry.
No, because that's not even what I was aiming for.
It's hard, man. Betting's hard.
Like I have a decent
I know, no,
grasp on this, but
yeah,
I'm
like I know.
I know what I want to
You're
do.
struggling in the same way that I struggled the first time I played this game. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right.
So recap.
Okay. But only if.
Yeah, Cassiopeia is immobilized. Imp Shadow Demon thing went to go kill Orion. I threw my sword and killed it. Only so like my sword's now like doing that twang thing in some ruin. Go.
But only if. You leave Cassiopeia open to attack from a creature from behind. One that neither you nor the rest of the guard have seen. Who will you save?
Sure, but only if I retrieve my sword and ruthlessly slaughter the remaining demons. Like all of them.
Okay, but when do you do that?
Um,
Is Cassiopeia doomed before you do that, or
yeah, no, I accepted. I accepted your
then I'm gonna say you asked too much.
okay. Then I do. So I don't have my sword.
If you move, you don't have your sword, and the rest of the group won't notice as Cassiopeia is ruthlessly butchered by a bunch of demons. Or you save Orion.
Yeah. Okay. I think in the moment then I know as us as players we know Cassiopeia is in danger, but I don't think Maz would realize it at the
No.
time being. So I think that would make a greater story. Is that I rushed to save Orion.
Okay, so you rush to throw your sword, and in doing that, you don't have enough time to either react or alert
Yeah.
the rest of the guard or slash behind you or something. And as a result of that, a demon runs up behind and just kind of falls upon Cassiopeia and ruthlessly kind of just tears into her with a set
Okay.
of knives.
Yeah. But only okay, fine. But only if I save Orion and kill the rest of the demons.
And so it was. I will accept that.
Nice. So you actually said one time I asked too much. Okay.
I think I said two.
That's true.
Yeah, I did too.
I have a question. So, can you only enter conflict once per scene, or
No,
could you
not
guys
at all.
go back?
No, we can
Okay.
absolutely go back.
That's what I thought.
Okay.
I that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I'm not done yet. I want to see what Eric does
Yeah.
next.
So now I like after we finish killing them or whatever, and like driving them off, and like in the moment of battle, I see Cassiopeia, dying or dead on the ground, and I'm like, no, and like on on my knees, and I gently like close her eyes with my fingers, and like kiss her forehead, and I swear on my starlit sword, the Umbral Star. I will destroy the Umbral Star, and repair the wrongs that have been done, and my sweet Cassiopeia. I think at that point I march probably to back to
Before you pull away from that, as you're kind of issuing your last laments of her, you notice, or let's say just in the scene, you would notice, like from a camera pans in on this, the Iker kind of starts like bleeding into her veins where she's already been stabbed and starts kind of turning them a
Yeah.
noticeable black.
Yeah.
And her eyes spring open with a yellow glow, and she reaches up to grab you at your throat. I'm not initiating. I'm not initiating.
I know. I scramble back, shocked, and does she trying to see like does she like pursue or something like try to
Yes,
attack me?
she's just kind of like automatically. She's having a hard time moving because most of her internal organs are ripped out, and she doesn't really have her rib cage at this
All
point.
right,
but...
so I'm gonna put her over here to the mistaken category.
Yeah.
And
as a male NPC, I have control of Orion, right?
yes.
Yes, you do.
So at this point, Orion cries, "My lord," and interposes himself between you and the now corrupted Cassiopeia.
Yeah, I'm like, no, it's, and then like I think it's too late as Orion runs through Cassiopeia, like slicing her in half or into ribbons or whatever.
Yeah,
Dispatching.
he's turned to a demon and
Yeah.
saves his lord.
But after carving her apart, you notice that the kind of just the upper body of her keeps kind of like moving in a very pitiful kind of forward motion toward Maz, just kind of crawling and making these violent, burbling, gurgling sounds.
All right. I mean, I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
Well,
I keep
I'm
chopping
setting
up into
this up.
smaller things.
I'm setting this up. Do you want to end her suffering as she is, or do you want to just leave her?
Oh no, I want to end her suffering.
Okay.
I mean, I just killed all the fucking demons in this thing. I like raised this.
So you want to put her out of her misery then?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So then, with a swift sword blow through the head, you kind of just like cleanly finish her off.
Yeah.
And continue if you
I weep and lament as I clean my starlit sword of the Ichor. She was a loyal soldier. We lost, and I think we flashed to like me giving the report to Lord Commander Corvus, being like we lost a lot of good men and women that day. But it's done, and I don't know. I probably like throw. Do I have like a token or something of the battle? Probably.
you probably took something off of her armor, maybe.
No, not Cassiopeia. I took something about the town, like the bell,
Yeah, maybe.
like a bell or like a something with stained glass or whatever. It's like
Flag.
Sure.
yeah, like a
maybe
flag
or something.
Yeah, like I recovered a relic and being like
Yeah, something that's like
right.
maybe
And
coated
like-
in the black ichor that you
yeah,
pulled
like
off.
we solved like we retook the town. Just as I said we would. Lord Commander, I believe I'm ready to ascend to
So do you just like kind of indignantly throw the thing down, like, here you go, here's your proof that I'm ready to ascend, and you kind of go
right, yeah, like no, like yeah, so like if we picture this like a movie again, right? We see like Lord Commander like scribbling or whatever on like some parchment, doing some like actuarial or like accounting
Or
work,
like looking
and then like this like bell or something like goes like inky splash like on top of it, and he looks up,
Yeah,
and like we like the camera like pans up to like my dirty boots and stuff, and I'm seeing there, I'm like it's done, and I'm like holding like my glowing sword,
Yeah,
right?
that's what I was thinking.
Totally, right? So
All right, I'm satisfied.
I almost think that's like a good place. That's
Yeah,
a
it's a
great place
scene.
for the scene to end. Yeah,
For sure.
we don't need anything from Corvus.
no, I'm good with that. So, experience. What did I do?
All right. Oh wait, this isn't my place to say.
No, it is.
Oh, it is. I thought
yeah.
this was a moon thing. All right, never mind.
This is actually an antagonist thing.
Well, I'm giving you sympathy for demons, so definitely marking for that, because you put Cassiopeia out of her misery.
That's fair.
You didn't just leave her to die. That might be all I can give you, Because you didn't show any abject hatred for people. There wasn't really any apathy. You immediately rushed to the aid of someone. You weren't callous with anyone.
Yeah.
You saved Orion. So that's basically it.
Despair, perhaps?
Oh, I didn't lose anything.
Yeah. I
Oh.
think despair.
Oh, that's
Despair
true.
as well. Thank you, Sam.
Nope, get wrecked. Double sixes. My zeal is not lost.
So on a 6, you just don't lose zeal.
Yeah, you don't lose zeal if you roll higher than your current zeal, or if you roll low. Oh wait, it's higher.
Okay. You still mark experience though, don't you?
No,
Oh, okay.
you only get experience when you lose zeal.
All right. That makes sense to me.
That makes
So
sense.
maybe Corvus doesn't give you command then, since you didn't gain experience.
Well, he can get command,
What?
but he might just not become like
Yeah, something. We'll
something more.
No, I just didn't lose zeal. Like I'm
Yeah.
still like an ardent,
But he's
strong,
saying, like,
paladin-y type character.
If you had gained like ice or light, then you would have that would have signified your transition into a higher rank by Corvus's
Right,
decree.
right.
like that would have been
Yeah.
like adding
It's-
to
it still
office.
happens.
That's fine. I mean, the way
It
we
just-
play it, ice and light are like kind of like not a big deal.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
not
Never
that
mind.
fiction,
So,
so it's fine.
yay! Now we flash back over to Antares. So, Antares, you'll be making the scene, but how about you recap where we were last?
Yeah, so last time we saw Antares, he had to give up his magical powers in order to save his sister. He was able to destroy this demon army, but he was unable to maintain his powers. So I think that this scene is maybe Ari's like seeking counsel from Suhail, because Antares now feels very looming at large to him is this aspect, that he's a big part and a major player in this order that's an order of wizards, and he no longer is. And so, he's racked with this conflict, especially because he's now seen as more of a hero of the people than he ever was.
All right.
And so it was that Antares came in his time of need and sought the wisdom of Suhail.
So Suhail, I imagine, is kind of just like a very old, decrepit Yoda-like figure who kind of just hunches over and has a cane that he walks around with. But like a very kind of gingerly nice old man. And so Antares might find him in like a chapel or a rectory where he's at. And he kind of just turns to look up at him and he's like, "Oh, Antares, it's been so long. Why have you come to me on such a brilliant day?"
Yeah, maybe he has like some title that he calls Suhail. It's like teacher or something from back in his days as a student. So he'll say, "Is it a bright day, teacher? I see naught but shadows.
And Suhail kind of looks
Have
around.
you heard?"
Sorry, if I may. Suhail kind of looks around, like, just kind of bewilderedly, and he's like, "I see no shadows. It's a brilliant day." Continue, sorry.
Yeah. So maybe like the sun is like shining, like while he's saying, he's like Suhail's talking completely, and then Ryan Carries is like reaching for these, this metaphorical reasoning. He says, "Have you not heard, Suhail? Have you not heard what has befallen me?"
And Suhail kind of just, like, starts strolling and kind of, like, motions, expecting Antares to follow him, and he's like, "Oh, I've heard. The tales of that battle have reached far and wide. But what do you bring it to my attention for?"
How can I lead our order? How can I be a leader of men without the art?
Suhail kind of turns back to him and he's like, "Oh, my boy, my boy. It may have been many decades since I taught you, but have you not remembered my teachings? Your faith in yourself and your order is so easily shaken?"
What is a magister without magic, teacher?
And he kind of rolls his eyes and he's like, "Magic do not maketh a man, boy. You may be a magister in title only, you may not wield the powers of the unseen hand, but that does not mean that you are any less worthy of your station. You are a magister at your core. You will be a magister with or without spells."
Without spells, the unseen hand is but an unseen stump, incapable of moving objects or men.
Suhail kind of ruminates on this for a second, and he turns back to him and he's like, uh, for as much as you do speak true, you must acknowledge that with only a single magister losing his powers, the entire order would not fall apart. Your leadership is what is important to these people, not your ability to cast light into an area or bring tremors to a ground. It is you that they need. And he kind of puts his cane, like, squarely on his chest.
Yeah, so Antares will look down and say, but what if I am not enough? I tried to reason with Horologium. I tried to make him see the truth, but he's still out there, teacher. I took his army from him, but he's still out there.
Suhail kind of, like, grimly looks down and he's like, "A demon is a demon is a demon. They will always war no matter what we do with them, and you must not concern yourselves with them as much as you have been. He will be about his ways, and you will be about yours. You do not need to change him. You do not need to change yourself. Focus on what you are, what the order is."
Yeah, so I think Antares like sort of looks down, and like sort of like thinks for a while. You know, he's just sort of like walking. Maybe they're like sort of like strolling through some sort of garden or something within like the order.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure. Maybe.
And he'll say, yeah, exactly. And he'll say, "You may be right, teacher. Perhaps the branch that connects the order to the normal man, those without the gift, without the art, perhaps I can forge the link between them."
I think
And perhaps, yeah.
I was wondering maybe at that moment you see like Sajida with like a bunch of her bags kind of like are in the garden and says like, you know, like, "Brother, I wish I'm here. I came as quick as I could from the town of I don't know, like Neversun and or like Starlit City, I don't know. And I came here as quick as I could. I heard of your heroism, and I'm here to join the order and follow in your footsteps."
Suhail kind of just flashes a huge grin.
Yeah. I think Antares also smiles wide and says, "Sister, I'm glad you have come. Tell me, have you been practicing your art? Can you feel it around us?"
It's uncontrolled for me. I'm afraid, but that's why I'm here. I think you've inspired me with your bravery. That maybe you could show me how to be brave and how to control my magic. And that's why I think with the unseen hand, the order and the discipline and your bravery, it means so much. It's just so good to see you, brother. It's been too long.
Yeah, and Antares will definitely like move to like embrace Sajida.
Yeah.
even though he might be like a little bit embarrassed to do so in front of Suhail. And then he'll, when that's done, he'll say, "I appreciate it, sister. You speak kindly of me. I needed to hear these words. Control is something even I am still working on. Suhail here, my teacher, is wise and has far surpassed me when it comes to this. It is an important lesson, and I'm glad you already know it and understand it."
Well, it's not that. It's the wish to understand it as much more than the actual mastery of it yet. I do come though with poor or sad tidings though, brother. Our mother, quickly scanning the name document. Our mother, Mimosa. She's fallen ill. Some sort of blackness is corrupting her lungs.
Yeah, so Antares will look stricken and say, I must go to her. Please, Sajita, you must come with me. Perhaps with your art and my knowledge together, perhaps we can do something for her. I have not the strength to help her myself anymore.
But what about my training? I came all this way.
Please, Sajita.
Suhail kind of steps forward at this moment, and he's like, do not worry. I shall accompany your young sister. I may be old, but I can still move a great distance of my own volition. Trust me, boy."
Nice.
Head back to the monastery and ruminate on what I have told you.
Yeah, so maybe that's like where the scene ends with like Antares is like torn between listening to Suhail and like letting him handle it, and he has to go like sort of he leaves to meditate, but and it's unclear whether he's going to follow Suhail's advice and stay and let Suhail take care of it, or if he's going to disobey and decide to go try to help his mother on his own.
See, I think you need to decide because you all haven't really done anything like that would be
Okay.
worthy of a role.
Right.
No, maybe you're not supposed. Maybe you don't want to.
Okay, so maybe yeah, so maybe he says I'm sorry, Suhail, but
I can think of something.
I cannot be the light of this city forever. This is too important. I must go myself. I need to see this done.
Nice.
All right.
Okay.
I think that's a good place.
And that's where it ends. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah. That's all right. That's good. Okay.
Because that's true. Because then the role hinges on that choice. Is like, does he abandon the city or does he abandon his mother?
Mm-hmm. Cool. So
Yeah.
Roll.
All right, let's do it.
Nope. Don't lose anything.
Or is that?
Wait, I thought
it was under.
I thought a one was.
Oh, I sorry. For some reason, I looked at my own 6.
Oh.
Because it got pushed up. Yeah, you rolled a 1. Now you definitely go down to Zeal 1, which means you get promoted. Ice or light?
Man, I'm burning zeal real quick.
Yeah, I know.
I guess light. What would improve here? So maybe do any of you guys have any ideas of like what could be sort of added here narratively? I mean,
What does light represent again?
inner growth.
Inner growth.
Yeah. Internal strength. Yeah.
You could probably relate it to the fact that he's kind of like made a personal choice over whether he wants to stay and represent the ideal of a hero or focus on his own family struggles. So
Right.
what does he value there more?
Uh,
In terms of growth, it shows that he's he's decided that he's favored family more over his own popularity or keeping up an image.
right. Definitely. Yeah, he's like sort of like risen above like just being this image of a hero in order to like help save his mother. So maybe maybe it's like an ability, and the ability has something to do with like being able to help like Sajida channel her powers into curing the mother, since he no longer has the magic himself.
So maybe like arcane tutelage or something.
Yeah. So like for ability, yeah, we
Yeah.
could call it
Try
like
to phrase it like that.
arcane conduit, yeah, arcane tutelage.
Yeah, I know. I dig that.
The yeah,
Discerner of realities. Spouter of lore.
Arcane lore spotter is easier to write than tutelage. I am horrible at typing.
Well, that's fun.
All right. Good beans. Cool beans. I'm getting tired. Sorry. All right. I think we should probably do one scene each. More because it is almost midnight. I want to be done by like 12:30. Okay. So, it's back to me for a scene, right?
Yes.
For Maz.
correct.
So, Maz just destroyed, or driven off the Umbral Star attack on a local city. Cassiopeia was slain. However, the city being reclaimed, and proof of its reclamation allowed Maz to be promoted to Lord Commander.
Mhm.
So what happened?
Sorry, real quick question.
Yeah.
If I want to, I can introduce any sort of other ancillary antagonist character at any other point, right?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just make sure.
you could also take other characters as well.
Okay, just
But
make sure.
in the meantime, though, we also need a new Moon character.
Can I just take over Orion, or does that all not count?
Well,
No,
need-
we are personal friends now. Maybe after the battle, because I saved you. You want to be? No, well, that would be.
that would be Hayden's Dominion.
that'd be
Oh
Hayden.
yeah, wait. Oh right, sorry. I forgot that. Yeah, my bad. Okay.
It would actually make more sense, I think, if Orion was actually a New Moon character.
Yeah, I agree.
You saved my life.
Yeah. Trying to think if there's. I don't know. So I guess the scene would be after I've ascended to Lord Commandership, right?
Yes.
Sorry, excuse me. So I ascend to Lord Commandership. I should probably do something like take. I don't know. Where's the Umbral Star? I guess it's like in the Mistake in the capital.
Yes.
All right. I guess my job. I've assembled an army, and I am retaking. I'm going to finish and destroy the Mistake once and for all.
So I think that when you were promoted, Corvus made sure to slip one of his little toadies into the position you vacated. So one of the guys that you were sort of forced to bring along
Sure.
was Al Gorab, the Raven, also Raven.
I know. That's
Yeah, that's I actually like did that on accident, but that works perfect. That
yeah.
Corvus's
That's
little
actually
minion is.
yeah. Also the Raven. Awesome. I don't know if that's how you spell Algorob. I
That
don't
was
know.
actually perfect.
Cool. So, so I'm gonna lead this campaign against the final mistake. I'm still upset over Cassiopeia, and I'm doing this as like revenge. And we, what I guess this would be the realm of the mistaken. What does the mistake look like? So like the actual location.
Um, do we still want it to be a smoldering crater, or can that just be a
No
metaphorical term?
metaphor.
Okay. Um, so I'm thinking that the capital city itself would have probably been some sort of large city-state. So, oh, the city still stands, but the entirety of it is drenched in a more solidified version of the black ichor that was everywhere else, and it looks similar to what you would think a city that was kind of just lost to time would look like drenched in vines and everything, but all of the overgrowth and the plant material is just this black substance which seems to kind of just sprout out of every corner and bleed down every wall
Mm.
to the extent where it's kind of seemed to like become a cancerous growth, and it seems to be sprouting its own sort of like appendages that look like trees or vines or whatever out of everything. And the
Mm.
city still stands, but it's effectively vacant, and overhead is the umbral star at all times, covering the sky.
So how do I kill it? um, are there any demons around? Like approaching the city?
Not approaching it. It's just
Okay.
it just seems to be vacant, and there's kind of a deathly cold wind blowing across it with no sound. And it's just silent.
So okay, that's fine. So I think then Maz will lead the charge with Orion on his right, and I guess Algarab and the honor guard with him in the front, like a vanguard, and into the town expecting a actual demonic defense, right?
Mhm. So, you're like you're not just are you advancing or charging? Like,
Charging
okay. So the
because
entire
I want to get revenge, right?
yeah, I got you. I got you. Okay. So the entirety of your force kind of just starts charging into the city, and like as you get through like a few streets, you kind of just everyone starts slowing down gradually as they realize there's not really anything to charge to. And
Yeah.
collectively, your different force formations kind of meet up in a
Yeah.
big sort of central area, which might have at one point been a statue or a fountain.
Yeah, I look to Orion. There's nothing here.
Why have you brought us to this blasted city? There's nothing to fight.
I look up and I look to the Umbral Star. I'm like, because of this, we will today we will be remembered as the ones that destroyed the Umbral Star.
Lord Commander, I've been trained to fight with lance and sword. But this is something that my lance cannot pierce and my sword cannot slash.
Not
And
yet.
then kind of in his kind of like mind's ear, I'll call it, Orion hears, I am not, but, and then from all sides and across the building and everything, all of the black ichor kind of just shoots up into different patterns, and slowly things sort of like crawling their way out of all of these different disparate little puddles, which didn't seem like they could have held anything, so it seems like things are just like dragging themselves out of them. And so there's large kind of gangly humanoid forms that leap from rooftops and over the side of buildings and just kind of crawl out.
Yeah, our group like circles and is like, here they come, steady, and we strike at them. I think. How do I want to destroy the Umbral Star?
Starlit Sword.
Yeah, I'm thinking of something to do with Starlit Sword.
All right. Well, if it's not too like out of the way, would you mind if I describe an out for you to do that with?
Yeah, please do.
Okay. So I mentioned in the lore for the original game that there was kind of like a huge gemstone that was originally built in the capital city that was used to focus the energy of the sun.
Mm-hmm. Or the stars, yeah. And Nick just nothing.
No, I'm not. I'm not out. I'm signaling. Do you see where I'm going with this?
Yeah, that I have to destroy the gem.
Not destroy it. You have a sword, which you can't reach the Umbral Star with, but
I'm not seeing it.
I think
focus
you used
the
the
blade
power of the gem
through
for
this
super
like
slash.
focusing crystal. Use it to destroy the Umbral Star.
Super
Oh,
slash.
I can like as like a beam weapon. Or
Yes,
something.
effectively.
Got
Because
it.
you can't.
Like a prism.
You get the sense that you could like stab this sword and it would just expunge all darkness it touches, but
Yeah.
you can't reach the star. So
Yeah. Okay. So all right. So I lead the group to be like kind of recklessly. I tell like people to like cover us as we make it for the Starlit Cathedral.
is it just you and Orion?
Yeah, as like we're the two who are gonna rush up the chapel stair or the cathedral stairs like on our horses, as like everyone else like clears the path for us.
So the
Yeah,
demons don't
Algorab,
like.
sorry.
Sorry, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
I'll say, yeah, Algorab will just like shout, you know, to me, and just like charge and try to form a path for you or whatever.
Sure.
So like cover their run.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so in front of you as you run, there's kind of this like not even in front of you, just like in the air, there's this great kind of roaring noise that comes out of nowhere. And like from the ground, like huge walls of this dark ichorous stuff start just like popping up in your pathway. And more creatures kind of spill out of them. More demons.
Okay. I mean, can I just avoid them? I'm gonna run by them.
Well, they're like directly in your path. You can't like run around them.
Can I leap over them on my horse?
I'm trying to create a consequence. So
Well, okay. Well,
you can leap over them.
You suppose that, and then I jump over them and I keep going.
Okay, but only if.
Oh, okay. So we're okay.
This is where this.
Shells.
Yeah, I was trying to. Okay, so you want to leap over them with a horse. Okay, but only if. All right. Let me think. Okay. But only if you acknowledge that Moz will never come back from this. Like, this is the point of no return.
And so it was. And we clear, Orion and I clear the cathedral.
Okay.
And I think we make it to like the gates of the actual like cathedral itself and like open it. And what do we see inside?
All right, so the cathedral, what's left of it is basically this large kind of like prism that as you get closer you realize it is caked in the black stuff, but it's just this big kind of chunk of crystal. And before it is this large looming stature that's this large looming form that seems to wear something like a broken crown around its head that's still like evidently made of some kind of metal, but it's dented and bent in half and it's kind of fraying. And it kind of just sits there with this sort of forlorn look on its face from what you can see of it, holding a massive greatsword and a shield on one side. And it kind of like tilts its gaze up to look at you briefly, and it like very reluctantly sort of rises and like spins the sword out into its palm.
Yeah. And I'd be like, Demons, show yourselves. You'll pay for the for what you did for Cassiopeia, and for my city. Today will be your reckoning. And I charge at it. I charge at it in order to disarm it. I want to like chop its hand off.
It doesn't move. It just kind of accepts what you do. So even as you cut its arm off, it doesn't show any pain. It doesn't show anything. It just stays there and sort of, again, keeps this forlorn look on its face and just kind of accepts that you have to kill it.
I just go to town on it. I just like chop it and chop it and chop it. You know, like just rage. You know what I'm talking about? Like when Luke Skywalker is just like beating down on Darth Vader, just like not even like the regular fighting, just like straight up like baseball batting. You know, like that kind of like just anger.
To it.
Yeah, like super angry.
And it bleeds real blood all over the place. It doesn't bleed the black Icarus stuff. And you keep hacking at it until it kind of falls to what's left of its knees, and it's kind of just sitting there hunched over, and the crown falls and it clatters onto the stone below you.
And what do I see?
It's just sitting there. It's just kind of there, like this horribly pathetic, pitiful thing, just kind of looking down and accepting the fact that it's going to die here. So do you want to kill it? Do you want to leave it be?
Oh yeah, no, I totally decapitated. It's a demon, right?
And so the head rolls away, and it kind of just ends up rolling off the side of the gantry that you've kind of crossed over, and the body slumps to the ground.
All right. As I stand there panting, and I look to Orion, I'm like, "Death to all demons. Let's go." Orion, do you like? What do you do? Do you see the crown and stuff? Anything, or do you just go? Hayden?
That's Hayden.
Oh, you were playing him before, so I was kind of confused.
Yeah, I think what happened is we moved Orion to you when you died, when your internet died. I think you might have missed this.
No, I saw that, but before
Sam had been playing Orion in the past bit of the scene.
Yeah, we decided
Right.
that Orion was more of a New Moon character because of the personal relationship.
right, but earlier this scene you
No,
were playing.
right.
No, he was playing Al Gorab.
I think he was
Okay.
doing both.
Yeah, I
No,
think he was.
I
as well.
only played Algorab this scene.
All right. Well, maybe I'm remembering wrong.
Sorry.
Anyway,
Okay,
going
I
on.
think last scene he was
so yeah.
Orion. That's why.
okay. Well, yeah, Orion. Just
So
is
like I'm like,
looking.
are you coming?
At, Maz kind
Rip internet.
of,
Internet?
Orion follows him to the tower.
Yeah. I was gonna assume that you follow us into the tower because your internet died again. So
yeah.
Oh no.
I can.
I don't know. I make my way to where I think the gem would be in the reliquary of the cathedral, or like in the basement of it or whatever. And I get to the gem, and I think when I get to the gem, I don't know. Is the gem like covered in like?
I'm thinking. Well, how I picture it is that the entire cathedral itself is shaped like a gem, and then at the top of it, where you're headed, there's kind of like a spot for you to plunge the sword into.
Oh, got it. Okay, so it's like up. Okay, so it's more like a tower.
Yes.
Got it.
It's
Okay.
more
I was
like a
thinking. I was thinking more of like we have to go to the basement of it, like where the Pope would be buried, right?
No.
Okay. Got it.
That would be thinking.
Okay. So then I march my way up to the tainted prism, and I'm like, at last, I'll have my revenge and rid this place of darkness and evil. Something that no one was ever able to do before. I stab my sword into the gem.
So the entire prism, after a few seconds of that, like light streams down through kind of cracks that have been carved and etched into the stone floor, and the entire prism lights up in brilliant light and casts a huge column of light upwards into the dark star. And there's a great kind of shuddering as basically the sky falls apart for a few seconds, and all the darkness is blotted away by light. And as the last of the star dissipates, you feel the ground kind of start to rumble, and you notice that the prism drops its light downward, and you can kind of see down into the city as this is happening. And it seems like all of the light is getting kind of feedbacking into the ground and expelling itself out over the planet.
All right.
So,
oh yeah, we just lost Hayden.
if I may raise a conflict. So, well, actually, you should be the one to do this, I suppose.
So I successfully destroy the Umbral Star? Is that what you're saying?
But the feedback of basically activating this prism is destroying the planet.
Fair trade.
And so it was.
You want to just end the planet? I'm giving you a but only if conflict thing here.
Yeah, but only if I'm able to save the inhabitants. Like
okay.
my people.
I was expecting you to reduce the scope of that.
Nah, dude, you underestimate how angry I am.
Okay, so you're willing to sacrifice the entire planet for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I accept that.
And so it was that the planet was destroyed in your vengeance.
Yeah, well, I mean, I said, but only if I saved my people.
Well, the entire planet's destroyed, so... Alright, let me back up.
So doing this, I destroy the planet and kill everyone?
Basically.
Yeah, then you're asking too much.
Okay. That's what I was waiting for.
Yeah.
Alright, so the discharge the discharge of the pillar kind of feedbacks into the ground, and the entire city, the entire mistake, plummets down into this kind of like actual crater, and everything in it is killed. All of the demons are wiped out, the Ichor is purged, but Maz and Orion and everyone that is there dies. So the entirety of the mistake will be forgotten. The Umbral Star is dead, but everyone that is there dies.
I mean, this is the ending, and I think that's pretty apt.
So you're
for the ending.
I think the moons say it is so.
Yeah. So it was.
All right. So the mistake and memories of it were lost to time, and the Umbral Star faded from the sky.
And okay, does one of us want to be Hyperion for this part here? For Antari's final scene.
Well, you haven't been the bad guy yet, Eric. If you want to do it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's fun.
I mean, I don't have to do the zeal or anything like that, only because we're out of time.
Yeah, we're at the end.
So, normally the pacing of this is much better. Okay. So yeah, I will play Horologium.
So it is your turn to set a scene, but since you're just jumping in, I'm happy to do it.
Yeah. Would you mind?
Yeah, so where we just left off was we found out that Antares is going to leave the city so that he can save his mother. And I think that when he gets to and so it was that when Antares reached the bedside of Mimosa, that standing there before him, poisoning the blood in her veins, was none other than Horologium.
Oh, I'm actually like,
Oh, except I just realized then that would mean that you would have to be playing Sagitta and Horologium, so it might make more
well, hold
sense.
on, hold on. Here we go. He's
Oh, here.
back. He's back.
I've
Oh, so you can
returned.
set the scene then.
Yes.
Perfect timing.
Yeah. So it is your turn. You're
Okay.
actually setting a scene for Antares.
All right. So they are headed to the place where Antari's mother is, I believe.
Correct. That's where we
Um,
left.
so I think that as they are coming up on the town in which Antari's mother is, there's just a demon horde there attacking the city.
Um. So, yeah, Antares sees the demon horde, and he's got like soldiers with him, of course, because especially now that he doesn't have the art anymore, he must rely on the strength of men. Um, and so he sees this, and he turns to Sagitta and says, "Sagitta, you must stay in the back. You must stay protected. Stay out of the fighting." And then he will turn to his troops and say, "To me, men, we must free this town of the demon scourge." And he will, raise his staff and charge forward and
Does it
gather his cloak.
is Sajida there?
Well, Sajida came with me
That's why
to
yeah, I would think I would be there, right? Like
yeah.
I assume I have some training now and stuff like that, so I would be there. Yeah.
So yeah, he said he like asked her to like stay behind and stay protected though. But I mean, I guess it's up to her whether she does it. But then he spurs his horse forward and charges the demons. And he's doing like the Gandalf thing where he's like sort of like fighting with the staff, and he's just like laying about and just rampaging through the demons, and he is like riding straight towards Horologium for the final confrontation.
And Horologium is on like this big, like demonic looking dog, like a Cerberus almost.
Oh, nice.
And he's just got just a giant hammer that's I think it's got like pieces of building and like just blood all over it and ice and bits on it. And yeah, I'm just riding straight for, as soon as I see that your force coming in, I'm riding straight for the for Antares.
Yeah, so Antares is going to uh, what he's going to try to do is he's going to try to jump off of his horse and knock the general clear of his mount. And he wants to like knock him off and get a position of power, like so that he's like standing above him with his staff.
You asked too much.
Okay. So instead, um, Antares is able to. All right, I got it. He's able to ride past and take out the legs of the mount. So either
Uh,
you're knocked clean, or he is able to get on, like tackle you off.
um, uh, I think that like you could knock the legs out from under the Cerberus, but only if um, I am able to jump off and onto you as that happens.
Okay, but only if you forfeit your weapon.
And so it was.
Okay, yeah. So Antar yeah. So Horologium like lands on top of Antares who's still riding on the horse. So you're like trying to like take him off the horse, and land. He sprawls in the dirt. He swings around with his staff and is able to knock Horologium across the head. Um, and he quests inside himself, and he can't feel the power, but at the same time he remembers this ancient lore that he was able to find so that he could help Sigil.
Oh my
Yeah,
god.
to,
Oh, okay, good.
This has
basically
been,
he's trying to fuel the magic with Sagitta's power. He's got the knowledge and Sagitta has the strength, and so he's going to try to pull from her in order to use his art.
But only if Sagitta dies in this process.
You ask too much.
yeah. Thank you.
I mean, because you're pulling magic from her, right? Okay. So,
No, I think you're approaching the right. You're pressing the right button.
okay.
Definitely.
Uh. So you're what do you exactly are you trying to do?
He's trying to use the art, and then, I mean, the next step is obviously going to be to use the art to destroy. He wants to use the magic to destroy Horologium.
Okay. So, shit. So,
But I feel like the initial conflict is like just being able to get the access to the magic itself, right? So it's not just like he can access the magic from her and immediately destroy it. It's like the first conflict is him accessing the magic,
okay.
right?
I can I have some help from the moons? Because I don't know exactly what to do in this situation.
Sure. Nick?
I'm not sure either.
I mean, this is the last scene, right? So, like, I feel like you can, like, ramp up everything to 11.
Yeah, I mean,
Um,
stakes are their stickiest.
Yeah, like other answers, like I can think of a couple things, but I don't want to give you any of them because I don't want them to happen.
like, I don't know. I still think that maybe, okay, Sagitta isn't dead, but, like, Sagitta is knocked unconscious, or, like, Sagitta,
Critically wounded, maimed, something.
yeah,
Is
exactly.
being taken by demons.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
being
That's
taken
perfect.
away. No,
But
taken away by
taken.
demons is awesome.
Taken
Yeah,
to be
kidnapped
And to
away.
be corrupted
Okay.
into one of me again.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, another demon.
Okay,
general.
so but only if Arteries is able to harness the power of the stars and immolate Herologium. Anyway,
Horologium.
immolate him with the starlight.
But only if he survives.
Who survives?
Horologium.
Horologium.
Push for more.
Oh, okay. So, only if you lose magic again.
No.
Yeah, I mean,
Hurt him somehow.
Okay, only like
Stab him in the
lands-
only if
feels.
while
Yeah,
doing
he
this and
lands-
engaging in this fight with Horologium, Suhail is killed.
Okay.
How? Where? When?
I mean, there are demons attacking. It doesn't matter. There are demons attacking maybe the Order of the Unseen Hand as well.
God
Yeah.
damn
Okay.
it.
But only if. But only if.
This night has just
Antares
been...
is. Yeah. But only if Antares is able to.
Hello? Am I here?
Am I? Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, you're fine, Sam.
Yeah.
Just-
Okay.
Yes, I
just
can.
me.
Hayden's Comcast,
okay.
being Hayden's Comcast, you know.
So yeah,
I'm
so
here.
it's, I
I'm
would
here.
say, but
I'm
only
here.
if I'm able to stop the demon threat with my magic. So by
Once and for
destroying
all,
Heroldium, it stops the demon threat.
That's very poetic.
But only if. Oh my lord! How? What do I do? I.
Whatever you want.
Yeah,
whatever you
literally
want.
whatever you want. Like that's
Only-
Yeah, at this
only
point you
if-
can kill me. Like,
Yeah, only if a star destroys the land. Like, just levels everything.
So, like,
So
all
everyone
become
dies, like,
starlight
my
and
Yeah,
people-
as you're trying to kill me dying just destroys everything.
Oh, so you like erupt in like a huge fiery
Yeah.
explosion. Oh, that's great. Ooh, big icy explosion. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
covering the land in ice.
okay,
Age.
Yeah.
yeah.
so just to clarify,
everyone.
so just to clarify, this is a, like extinction level event. Like no one's surviving, or it's just everyone around me. Okay, yeah, you asked too
Everyone's
much.
dead.
Okay, then just
You gotta scale that one down.
cut the scale down.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just in the immediate area, just dead, just desolate.
Okay. And so it was. And so it was that.
All right.
Oh man.
And that all was buried with a sheet of ice.
Yeah. I see this basically. Heroldium basically tackles Artures off of his horse. And then Artures begins to focus. The staff glows white hot, and then you see also Sagitta being carried away by the demons, her eyes glowing or something like that, and then just this
Yeah.
explosion of cold energy.
Yeah. Let's see. Tice gets it, but only if he becomes the next Demon Lord centuries in the future. Yeah. Several of the games I've played, several of the Polaris games I play are very much like that. Like, oh, you kill the king, that's fine. Your son hates you and grows up and becomes obsessed with demons, and you're like, fuck.
Yeah. Oh, that would have actually been the perfect one, but only if Gemma the child grows up to be the next Demon King.
Yeah, and it's like, God damn it. Yeah, okay. So, okay.
Oh man, that was really fun.
Yeah. We didn't have
Yeah.
So unfortunately, we didn't have enough time to play long. I wish we had more time, or actually I wish we could play this at a different time, because Polaris is more fun. I see now that Polaris requires probably a little bit more than 3 hours to really play a lot. I'll talk to Ben and see about how I can modify the game to play a little faster for the time. But that being said, yeah. So what do we like about it? What we didn't like? Let's decompress.
Comments are the same. So, pretty much.
The only thing that I didn't like was, and maybe it's just because I didn't read the rules carefully enough beforehand, but I didn't feel like I really got how to play the game until I played it. I'm not sure that the rules do a great job of teaching you how to play the game.
Yeah, that's definitely true. So my first experience with this game, I did not read the rules at all. All I had was Ben Robbins of Microscope teaching me how to play Polaris and just facilitating it for me. Yeah, once I learned that it was basically just make stuff up and learn how the betting thing works, it was like, oh. I think the game clicked. I think for us once Sam and Hayden did the betting. And saw the conflict, right?
Yeah.
And then you're like,
Yeah.
we can put this on the table.
Just destroy shit.
We can put this on the table now. These are things, right?
As the mistaken, I can just destroy everything. I can try to do that.
Tice, I'd love to have you on here, man. I love to play Polaris again.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was definitely the like, oh, this is how we play this game.
Exactly. Yeah, like there's a watershed moment for sure when you start playing Polaris. Then you're like, got it. Yeah. I wish we had more. My biggest complaint tonight was I wish we had more time. We could have done pacing a lot better. So I think I have to work with dealing with the zeal and the numbers for the zeal, because I think the hard part about playing Polaris in such a hard limited constraint, as well as that, as no matter how hard you try, you can't actually, like, there's a chance you won't actually gain weariness, because you could just keep rolling like the lower your zeal gets, the harder it is to lose more zeal, right? Because you always have to roll your number lower. So
Like,
you're
not
actually
everyone
losing
keeps
your
rolling
chances,
once.
right? Yeah, and unless you're doing like 6 or 7 things that are like mistakes in your scene, right? So like setting good scenes is like super hard. It's like even harder than microscope, in some ways. But I was also like, we spent so much time discussing like the fate and what it should be, and like we didn't even use the fate. Right?
Yeah. So true.
Like we didn't even do that at all. But still, I enjoyed it a lot. Nick, my favorite part for me personally, was your descriptions.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I don't know if you saw what I did at the end, but I tried to take the king
You did.
of the bygone era. Okay, so you saw what I was doing.
Yeah, you reincorporated your intro, well, to your third scene. No, I love that.
Yeah, I have to say, I think it's just like the nature of this game. Like, I just love, like, I'm such a nerd for like myths and like that kind of like
right?
storytelling. Like, this like really hit like a good like nerve for that. I like really like enjoyed that aspect.
Yeah, you can tell like a really solid mythical story with this game, if you get on board with it. Speaking of telling stories with Polaris, I know Ben Robbins has tweaked Polaris for other types of settings instead of just the mythic thing, though. Like, I know he did like a 1950s like against communism kind of thing, and like doing like the press reporter like kind of angle, like noir communist kind of thing. I know there's some other ones that you could do. The big one that I think of when I see this is like, I mean, it says Starlit Sword, like Jedi.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think we deliberately avoided that.
Yeah,
We
but,
got
like,
kind
you
of
could
close
play.
a couple times.
Yeah, but like no, like I think the but like what I actually messaged Ben about this, and I'm sorry to keep bringing it up. He mentioned the big thing, if you want to do Star Wars, would be then what is the mistake? Like what is the evil that is infecting everything? Is it the Empire? Is it the dark
Force?
side?
Because
Yeah, like is it the Force?
conflict?
Yeah. Okay. So then it is the Force, right? Then
Or
yeah.
the light side. That would be an interesting game. Where the
Um,
mistake is the light side.
Oh, nice. Is the Jedi Order an establishment? Yeah. There's a lot of like, but depending on what you want to do, yeah, you could tweak the game a lot for like setting. You really can distill Polaris down to its core elements, and then kind of just build up a new skin for it.
One thing I really like is a lot of times like role playing games sort of discourage that idea from like video games and stories sometimes, where it's like, no, I'm just a super badass and I'm just gonna do super badass things and that's just gonna be okay. And a lot, this game goes totally the opposite direction, where it's like, no, you can't be too badass. Like, you seriously cannot.
Yeah, exactly, right? And I think that definitely pairs well with its the ability to emulate myths right?
Right.
It's like you don't have anything stopping you except your own imagination, or someone else being like, not so fast.
Yeah.
But only if. and then
Yeah,
and you're like,
that was my
yeah.
problem. Is like I was stuck in my own box, like that I
Yeah.
created of my
Yeah,
own
'cause they-
mind.
Games
It's
teach you that you are
Yeah.
not the end-all be-all of the universe.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
And,
And,
no,
And you
can't-
usually don't have full creative control over your character.
Exactly. It's very much like this is a game about a story about the protagonist, and like we're all on board with like we're telling this story this way, and that's why I think playing 2. Maybe what I'll do is actually I'll probably it would kind of suck, but like having 2 and being able to rotate like who's playing what instead of just having one game of people being the protagonist. I don't know. It's like, what do you guys think? Knowing what you know now, would you rather have seen just one continuous playthrough of one story, or would you rather do the double story kind of thing and everybody get their own taste?
I
a
liked the
protagonist.
double story just because, and this might just be the way we played it because we had like so few important NPCs. But like
Yeah.
I felt like a lot of times our moons were not getting as heavily involved.
Yeah.
So it was nice to have like there was one game where it was I was the protagonist, Hayden was the mistake, and then there was another game where you were the protagonist and Nick was the mistake. So like while the moons are a little bit more on the periphery, you get
Yeah.
everyone gets to have that central and periphery.
Also, our style of game was entirely like combat-y instead of like intrigue-y and like dealing with like romance and stuff like courting, which most of the games when I play this game end up being that sort of like courting romance with the king with the queen to be or whatever,
Oh,
like
really?
that kind of stuff,
Something I think that if
like
we
courtly
did have
intrigue.
Yes.
right, if we have it as like one game, that if we had more NPCs instead of just one, because then we would have a lot to choose from.
Sure.
For a particular scene.
So there's nothing stopping us from actually creating more characters at the start
We just
doing this.
didn't.
We just didn't do it.
Yeah, that's also what I sort of realized late was that it was like, oh, when I'm playing the moon, I can just be like, oh, now this NPC exists.
Right.
Which
Yeah.
is
Okay,
like,
yeah,
I didn't really realize that until the end.
And I'm not exactly. This is my fault as facilitator, is that I fail to know this rule in the game of how much power the moons have in terms of incorporating characters, or if that is the protagonist. Like the protagonist would be like, okay, and I want this. I would like, and I think we need this character, and then the moon can be like, okay, do I fill it in here, or can the moon like preemptively add characters?
Right.
And I think it might be the latter. I feel like the latter would be more fun, but I'm not sure how much the win gets taken out of the protagonist's creative domain sales when you do that.
Yeah, I mean,
it's give or
I
take.
feel like as long as you're careful with it, it can work. Like,
Yeah.
if I had been like, oh, here's this like random character I'm just gonna introduce, but it just like felt natural. It was like, okay, this guy like isn't just gonna like leave command and just be like, okay, it's your show now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right. So no, I still enjoyed it though.
I had a
Yep.
blast.
I did as well. If the internet was just better for me, that would have been just made me so mad. Every time I tried to say something or something important was happening, just Comcast decided to not.
The corruption seeped in. There was
Yeah,
nothing
the
we could do.
And of course now
It's all in your tubes, man. It's all in your tubes. So, all right. So let's do some outros then, shall we? So let's start with Hayden before your internet dies again.
I'm Hayden. I do stuff on the internet. I'm gonna start streaming again. So twitch.tv/Hyperion1138. That is where I will be streaming. And maybe YouTube, youtube.com/user/teamdawnlight. So that's where I'll be.
Awesome.
And Twitter is @DLHyperion.
Awesome. Great. Nick.
Hi, I make games. The one I have been working on is done. I need to make character sheets. You can find me at the Twitter handle. I'll have a website in a week, and then you can download my alphas and stuff.
Awesome. You need to tell me about that because maybe we should play it on here.
You should, because it will be fun.
Yeah.
I would like to play.
Cool.
You
Yeah.
should.
Let me know about it. Okay. Sam.
I'm Sam, Wizened Fool. on Twitch. I don't do much of the streaming thing, but I like to hang out in people's chats and show up on shows when I can edge my way in.
Yeah.
So yeah, if you see me on any of the medias, feel free to give me a shout out. I'm very friendly. So
Yeah. Great.
None of the rest of us are.
Yeah.
He's the only one.
And I've been your host and facilitator tonight. I'm Eric. You can follow me here at Twitch, EricVulgaris. Twitter, the same. YouTube, I'm like 3 subscribers away from being able to get my custom YouTube /EricVulgaris. So right now it's this crazy, ridiculous link. But if you just went below at my Twitch channel, go and do that way, or Google Once Upon a Game and type in Once Upon a Game RPG, you'll probably find the playlist of all of our games. So Wednesday will be our season finale of season 1 of Once Upon a Game, which is really cool. And then we kick off January 3rd with, what's it called? Urban Shadows.
Urban
I'll be
Shadows,
back
and I'm
for
on
that.
it.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, you guys will be there for Urban Shadows, which would be fun.
Awesome.
By the way, I have to send the materials out for that stuff for you guys. Just to talk
I've
about it some
played
more.
that before, so
Yeah.
I'm a little bit more experienced at least.
Yeah, people playing indie games. So other than that, coming up is so season finale, Urban Shadows for season 2 getting started. I think some more Downfall. I think it's up and coming. Is Fiasco tomorrow, Tice? I never heard anything if we're doing Fiasco tomorrow. As far as I know, I'm not doing Fiasco tomorrow, but that might change.
Third 5 just put it in the Discord, so maybe?
Oh, okay.
Apparently he's looking for people.
Oh, okay. And let's see. The 9th or the 5th? The 5th is that's Saturday? No. Saturday the 9th. Saturday the 9th, I'm playing the Warren over at AP Gaming Rails channel again. I'm reprising my role as Saffron, the rabbit, and I cannot wait to run more Warren. Warren is super fun. It's Watership Down, powered by the Apocalypse. So, anyways, yeah, that's it for me, guys. I'm signing off here. Take care. Yeah, Warren will be with Tice. Take care. Bye.